Why do I overthink everything? Understanding trauma, anxiety, and intrusive thoughts. Overthinking happens for a number of reasons. In this post, I will cover 5 of the most common reasons people overthink. But first, I want to make a distinction between overthinking and deep thinking. Overthinking is the repetitive analysis of a thought, situation, or decision beyond the point where it is helpful or productive. Instead of leading you to comprehension, your thoughts become repetitive and more muddled. You may find yourself replaying conversations, imagining the worst case scenario, second guessing decisions, or searching for certainty that never manifests. Deep thinking is the ability to reflect on experiences from a variety of perspectives. Deep thinking is a reflective process that strengthens insight, improves problem solving, and support a more balanced decision making. Deep thinkers develop skills to recognize pattern, allowing them to consider the wider consequences of their choices. Thinking things through thoroughly helps them to prevent many negative outcomes before they arise. With that said, here are 5 common reasons why we overthink. Reason 1. Your mind processes more information. Some people naturally take in far more information from the world around them. As a result, they have much more information to process, organize, and make sense of before reaching a conclusion. This is often seen in highly intelligent people who naturally recognize patterns and possibilities that others may overlook. Analytical thinkers who enjoy exploring different perspectives before making decisions. Curious minds who are driven to ask questions, seek understanding, and look beyond surface level explanations. People who identify as empaths or highly sensitive, who tend to notice subtle emotional, environmental, and interpersonal clues that many people either miss or overlook. Reason 2. Your mind is trying to protect you. Overthinking often develops as a way of feeling safe. People who have experienced anxiety, trauma, criticism, rejection, or unpredictable environments often learn to anticipate problems before they happen. The mind begins asking endless what-if questions in an attempt to prevent future pain. Before asking, how do I stop this type of overthinking? It can be more helpful to ask, what is my mind trying to achieve? Your mind is not your enemy. It is always trying to protect you. However, emotional intensity has a powerful influence on how we interpret our experiences. When we experience trauma, anxiety, rejection, criticism, or prolonged adversity, the mind develops protective ways of understanding the world, often operating outside our conscious awareness. As a result, we may draw conclusions that no longer accurately reflect our present reality, causing the mind to remain in constant alert and fueling cycles of overthinking. Understanding the framework that your mind is working from is often more helpful than trying to silence your thoughts. This is because the thoughts themselves are usually a symptom rather than the underlying cause. This is one of the central principles of Meta-Psychotherapy. Rather than trying to suppress or fight our thoughts, the aim is to understand the unconscious belief, assumption, and protective strategies that gives rise to them. As these unconscious patterns are brought to the light of consciousness, they can be examined, understood, and transformed. The answer then is not simply to think less. The answer is to develop a healthier relationship with your own mind. Understanding the underlying reasons is often more helpful than trying to silence your thoughts. In fact, trying to suppress some thoughts can sometimes make them even more persistent and aggressive. Reason 3. Information overload. Modern life also plays a role. We live in a world of endless information and endless choices. Within minutes, we can find hundreds of opinions about almost any subject. Ironically, having more information doesn't always create certainty. Sometimes it creates more confusion. The more choices we have, the more opportunities we have to doubt ourselves. Reason 4. Intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts are unwanted, distressing thoughts, images, or impulses that seem to appear out of nowhere. They are often completely opposite to a person's values, beliefs, and character, which is why they can feel so frightening. Many people begin analyzing these thoughts, asking themselves questions like, what if this means I'm a bad person? Or what if I lose control? The search for certainty often causes the thoughts to become even more persistent. Intrusive thoughts commonly occur alongside anxiety, OCD, trauma, depression, or periods of intense stress. Although they can feel frightening, they are far more common than many people realize. Reason 5. You don't trust yourself enough. Many people overthink because they are searching for certainty before making a decision. The difficulty is that complete certainty does not exist. Confidence is not something we usually discover before making a decision. It takes courage to act when we are uncertain of the outcome. We develop confidence in our ability through the experience. Learning to trust yourself by taking tentative steps and learning from the experience is often more productive than trying to eliminate every possible risk. In summary, our mind processes more information because of natural temperament. Our mind is trying to protect us because of past experiences and trauma. Modern life overwhelms us through information overload and endless choices. Intrusive thoughts can trap us in cycles of analysis, often linked to anxiety, trauma, OCD, or other adverse life experiences. A lack of self-trust keeps us searching for certainty, often as a result of difficult life experiences. One of the positive aspects of an overthinking mind is that with guidance, it can be transformed into something incredibly valuable. Instead of becoming trapped in rumination, it can develop into deep thinking, insight, wisdom, and creativity. The same mind that once focused on survival or annihilation can learn to understand, evolve, and flourish. Trauma and adversity do not have to define the rest of your life. They can become part of a journey towards greater self-awareness, resilience, compassion, and transformation. For those of you experiencing overwhelming thoughts, it may feel impossible to believe that your mind is not your enemy. Some clients initially find that suggestion difficult to accept because of the pain, fear, and emotional distress that brought them to therapy. I understand that distress. My understanding is shaped not only by years of study and more than 10 years of professional practice, but also by my own lived experience. Today, I know from both a personal and professional perspective that healing is possible. My work is grounded in an integrative, holistic approach that supports the whole person. A key part of this transformative process involves bringing unconscious patterns, beliefs, and motivation into conscious awareness. As we begin to understand the hidden influences shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behavior, we gain greater freedom to make healthier, more conscious choices. This process is commonly known as shadow work, a concept most closely associated with Carl Jung. If you would like to explore whether this approach feels right for you, I offer a free online consultation. I provide online counselling throughout the UK and life coaching internationally. If you like this content, please do like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And do remember, your mind is your greatest asset. Take care of it, and it will take care of you.